It's always so nice to say that and not have to follow it up with, and I'm an alcoholic. That room, right? I am, though. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've actually been sober for over 13 years now. Thank you. I love saying that to a room full of strangers and getting a round of applause, because whenever I used to tell a guy on a date, I would get, and I'm like, are you worried that you're going to have to be charming? Well, the joke's on them because I'm really easy, so. It was never the alcohol. And people say that when you start drinking heavily, you stop maturing emotionally. So if and when you quit drinking, you have to go back and start all over. And I'm like, that sounds exhausting. Who wants to go back and relive those years again? You know, it was tough enough the first time around being 7. And it's hard to stay sober these days because every time you go to the doctor, they're so quick to put you on medication for something, right? I went to see this doctor a couple of weeks ago. All I said was my shoulder hurts. She barely looks up from her pad. She was just like, we'll just give you some painkillers for a couple of weeks and see how you do. I was like, I think we know how I'll do. She said, what's the problem? I said, I don't know. Look at my chart. Shouldn't it say addict, alcoholic, do not give pain pills to? Or better yet, look at my shoulder. Maybe I'm making the whole thing up. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm trying to score drugs. She was like, all right, settle down. We'll just give you some muscle relaxers. They're not habit forming. Like, well, neither are Chips Ahoy, but I'm going to eat every last one of them once I open the sleeve. And it makes me nervous now that marijuana is legal. Like, I'm happy for those of you that can. I can't, obviously. And when I'm around it and I smell it, I'm worried that it's just the same as smoking it and that it's going to mess with my head a little bit. And so, like, sometimes, you know, I'll smell it and I'll be like, I smell weed. And then other times I'm like, I smell weed. It's that guy. During the pandemic, there were a lot of things that were like the supply chain had some things messed up, and that included medication. And that never bothered me because I shied away from medication as a sober person for the longest time. I recently gave up and went on some anti-anxiety medication. I'm not normally this chill. And when I heard that mine was discontinued, you know, that doesn't go well with anti-anxiety, right? So I get a text from CVS. Do you guys get texts from Yeah, 17 times a day? Yeah. More than my mother, which is saying a lot. It's like, hi, we noticed that your pill is almost out. Did you want us to call your doctor and get a refill? Because we'll call and press 1 if you want that, 2 if you don't, 3 for other, why not? You don't want it? What's going on? Okay, we're going to call him anyway. We're going to get it. It's going to be here. Okay, it's here now. We've got it. We've got it filled for you. You going to come pick it up today? You're going to come pick it up tomorrow, or 3 for other. What's other? When are you going to come? It's here. If you don't come get it, it's here. It's ready to be filled. You don't come get it in 7 days, we're going to put it back. And then what are you going to do? And we're going to text you again. And I'm like, don't you know that I'll be there when I'm completely out? If it's not an emergency, it's not happening. So I get this text that my pill has been discontinued. And I'm like, well, that seems like more of a phone call situation, CVS. So I call and I say, what's up? And they were like, oh, it's fine. It's just your dosage. I was like, oh, all right. What do I do? They're like, call your doctor, ask for 5 milligrams, take it twice a day. I'm like, I can do that math. So I call my doctor. I'm like, I'm going to need 5 milligrams. I'm going to take it twice a day. They're like, we can't do that. What are my options? They're like, we're going to give you 20. You're going to cut it in half. So I go back to CVS for a pill splitter, which is not the most embarrassing thing I've ever gotten at CVS, but that's besides the point. And now every single day, I split my pill in half, but it never breaks perfectly in half. So some days I just feel better than others. And at the end of the month, there's this white powdery residue at the bottom of the bottle. I know what to do with that. It's good. By round of applause, who here did not get COVID? All right. That's great. Can you believe that with what I do for a living, I somehow managed to not get COVID until today? I'm kidding, of course. I got it. I did get it very late, though. Like, I was starting to feel pretty invincible. Like, my husband got it 2 years before I did, and I still didn't catch it. It helps that we never touch. But, yeah, he got it like 2 years ago, and as soon as he started to not feel well, I was like, well, I'm going to go stay in the guest room until you're feeling better, and any day now. We've been together for a while. We've only been married for 2 years, but we've been together for a lot longer than that. But we're still not at the separate bedroom kind of thing. Besides, there are like so many other rooms I would like my own of before a bedroom. Like, we got a nice king-size bed. We can take turns starfishing. Like, that's fine, you know? It helps that we both have our own bathrooms. That's a relationship saver, guys. If you can, do it. It's bad enough that we share an exhaust system, right? It's like I'll be on the toilet, like, trying to turn the fan off with my foot, like, wondering what he's eating, you know? Like, see a doctor. I would love my own living room. I want a 24-hour sports-free zone. I would like to burn candles and diffuse oils, you know? You know what would not be on my coffee table? Fingernail clippings, that's for sure. Not in my living room. Just candles burning all day long without him going, I don't understand why you like the smell of lavender so much. I'm like, because it calms me down! But mostly I would love my own kitchen. That's it. I just want snack time that's just mine without him having some Pavlovian response every time the fridge door opens, like, oh, we having a snack? It's like, no, I'm having a snack. 5 minutes. I'm clearly not pacing myself. This will not take long. I just want to stand in the open fridge and eat a block of cheese like a candy bar in my own disgusting shame. Can I have 5 minutes? We got married during the pandemic because we were bored. We got married despite the pandemic, I should say. Like, we have a really good relationship, but I used to joke that the strength of our relationship was based on the fact that we barely ever saw each other. Because, like, I work all the time. Anybody that knows me, I'm out every night on the road doing my thing, and all of a sudden, I'm home, I'm out of work, and I'm realizing how much I miss an audience, right? That's a bad combo. This poor guy's just sitting on the couch trying to watch TV. I'm walking into the living room every 5 minutes like, how's everyone doing in here? Where are you from? But we did. We powered through. We got married. He's amazing. Like, I make a lot of fun of him, but he's amazing. He's actually a firefighter. I know, that pension. Wow. I'm kidding. I didn't marry him just for his pension. I was so excited to spend the rest of my life with the best health insurance that a girl like me could ever ask for. People are like, where did you go on your honeymoon? I was like, the dentist? The dentist actually would have been preferred to our actual honeymoon. We went to Puerto Vallarta, which is fine and all, but the first night that we were there, we got robbed. Yep, somebody broke into our Airbnb, robbed us. My husband chased them off. I called the Airbnb host. I was like, we just got robbed. And she goes, oh my God, nothing like that has ever happened before. And I was like, of course you're gonna say that. What are you gonna say? Oh, that's Kevin? My husband is a very good-looking man. He is very, very handsome. It actually makes me uncomfortable, like how handsome he is, right? He like works out, he takes good care of himself. He's just a good-looking man. And I look at him and I'm so lucky that he's dumb. ogle him as he walks through the house. And he'll be like, I'm not a piece of meat. I'm like, shh. Not as interesting when it speaks. Well, we've been together for almost 12 years, and I can honestly say that I still have a crush on him. Hands down, I still do. There's not much that he can do that could turn me off, except for when he's getting undressed for bed and he takes his pants off before his shirt. Right? That's not a good look for a man. Like, shirt first, he looks like a calendar model. I'm like, that's my favorite outfit of yours. Pants first, I'm like, Winnie the Pooh. He's also an atheist, which does not bother me at all, except for when he sneezes. I don't know what to say. And he goes, what's the problem? I was like, I don't know what to say. He goes, you don't have to say anything. I go, yes, I do. It's rude. He goes, fine, say anything you want. I go, fine, you're going to hell. And then, of course, you know, once you get married, everybody asks, when are you going to have kids? Are you going to have kids? Women get asked this all the time, and it's really annoying, right? Especially because I found out years ago that I can't have kids because I don't want them. No. Hard, guys. Anyway, but it's just such an interesting, invasive question to ask women. And what always cracks me up is that people will ask me, and I'll say, you know, I don't have kids. And they go, why? And I go, because I don't want them. And they go, why? And I go, oh, I wasn't prepared for a follow-up. I thought not wanting them would have sufficed, but okay, I'll play along. Let's see. You know, I'm almost, 46 years old. It's a little old for me. Like, well, I had my David when I was 48. I was like, well, good for you and your David. They go, why? And I'm like, well, with what I do for a living, I'm out all hours of the night. I'm on the road. I'm always traveling. I'm never home. They're like, well, if you have a supportive spouse. I'm like, I don't have a supportive spouse. He had a vasectomy. I'm not kidding. It's not funny. He did. He had a vasectomy. We're not allowed to make jokes about that until the cone comes off. Just don't want them. It's fine. I mean, I especially don't want them because the older I get, the harder it is to lose weight, right? And it's like I think about how 20 years ago, I never worked out, I never ate right, I never did anything right? And somehow I'm half the weight of what I am right now, right? Like I never dieted or anything. Now I'm like portioning organic food. I never exercise. Like now I'm like riding my bike and stuff all the time. I'm in the gym, I'm walking, I'm doing all these weights. Like how am I 50 pounds heavier than I was in my 20s? It doesn't seem fair, right? Like now, when like I don't even, like I used to fall asleep with like half a Big Mac in my mouth, full face kabuki makeup, and I would wake up fresh, clear skin, 40 pounds later than I am right now, when I don't eat within 4 hours of going to bed, which is fine because that's how long it takes me to deconstruct everything to make sure that I don't turn into a Shar-Pei overnight. But I try to stay fit, I'm in front of the camera a lot. I also have a band. I'm also a musician when I'm not telling jokes. And I have, thank you, one person knows it. Thank you both. Killing it. No, but I do play, and I actually just recently got a whole new band. And they're all very young. And, all right. I played their wedding. Anyway, they're all very young, so there's a little bit of a learning curve for me to play with these guys. And I mean, as if I haven't stressed not being a mother enough, I'm definitely not any of their moms. So you can stop asking because it's just starting to hurt my feelings, you know? It's like I have these set of twins that play horns in my band. They're not even 30, and they're both losing their hair. And one of them comes up to me after a show one time, and they're like, that lady asked if you were our mom. And I was like, do I look old enough to have bald twins? My guitar player is the youngest. He's like 12. And the first time that he and I got together, I asked him for his email, and he said, oh, it's andy95@gmail.com. And I was like, 95? And he goes, yeah. I said, please tell me that's your weight. And he goes, nope, that's the year I was born. I was like, that's the year I graduated high school. He's like, that's cool. I was like, no, it's not. So like technically, like physically, I am old enough to be his mother, but I'll have you know that I wasn't even having sex in high school. I was a virgin till I was almost 20 years old. I was saving myself for anyone who was interested. So chaste. But it's good to be back out. It's good to be working again. The only struggle that I'm having is wearing a bra. I really liked not wearing one. That was the best part of quarantine, was just not wearing one. And then before you start comparing it and saying things like, I have to wear underpants every day, first of all, no, you don't. Furthermore, if you not wearing underpants underneath your trousers is noticeable to the people around you, you need to see a doctor. Like, I'm 46, I know what I'm packing. When it's off, it's off. And they don't make full shirts for women anymore, okay? So it would be quite the show anyway. Definitely not TV. Anyway, so putting one back on now, it's just been like tough, but like for a while, like being home, every once in a while I would throw on like a sports bra. Not a very good sports bra, like just enough to keep them off the floor. Just enough to not completely terrorize the Uber Eats driver as he waited at the bottom of the stairs with my food. I came barreling at him, all like boobs and fangs, like, you know, like, ah! Like The Rock and Indiana Jones. And every bad behavior has its rock bottom. And for me, mine should have been the night that I was gently trotting up the basement stairs and I thought someone was chasing me, but it was the sound of my boobie slapping off the core of my body. This is the most exercise I got the entire pandemic. But now, you know, now they're kind of like outdoor cats, you know? I'm really struggling to get them back in the house. I am very happily married. I'm mostly happily married because the idea of dating again completely terrifies me, right? Like, I would put up with a lot just to not have to date again. Because I think about how crazy I was when I used to date. And one time in particular, I acted a little crazy, and then I tried to convince that person that I wasn't crazy. Have you ever tried to convince somebody that you're not crazy? It doesn't work, right? It went a little something like this. Hey, Mike, I sent you a message on Facebook just to see how you're doing, see if you want to get together. You know, no big deal, you get back to me, you can. And I didn't hear back from you right away, so I went on Facebook to see if the message sent, and it did. Maybe you saw you were just on there posting and tagging and liking things. Maybe you didn't get the chance to check your messages when you will when you can. It's okay, it's no big deal, it's fine. So then I sent you a text message just to see what's going on, see how you're doing, see if you want to get together, you know, no big deal. And I sent another message. I was like, you know, did you get my first message? And I was like, well, if you didn't get the first message, you couldn't have got the second message. So then I sent a third message saying, sorry for all the messages. And I was like, stop doing that. So then I called you just to see what's going on, see how you're doing, see if you want to get together. No big deal. Get back to me, you can. And I realized that I didn't leave my number. So I called you again just to leave my number, and it rang once and it went straight to voicemail. So you know that you saw that I was calling and you hit decline, and I was like, started to leave this really angry message, like, what do you think, you're better than me? And I was like, you know what, don't do that. Maybe you're on the line with somebody else. Maybe the phone was in your pocket. You hit the button by accident. Who knows? The point is that if you just take a few minutes out of your busy schedule to give me a call back, I think we owe it to each other to have a face-to-face after everything we've been through, even if the end result is that we never talk again, which is clearly what you want, and for all you know, it could be what I want too, but you're not gonna know unless you pick up the phone and call me back, and let me prove to you that I'm not crazy. Are you even home? That's my time, guys. Thank you so much.